Files are versioned in order to be able to access prior states of the file. Each version tracks changes that were made in the file. By finding the version before a change was made, it is possible to backtrack through changes. There are multiple ways to save copies of a file, each addressing a different purpose. Replicate a file. The replica keeps the same file name as the original and can be accessed when the original is not available. A replica is intended to be a true copy of the original and can be used to recover the file when the original is corrupted. Backup a file. The backup copy can be maintained in a separate timestamp directory. The copies represent different states of the file. If a file is changed, a backup can be accessed to find an unchanged copy. Backups can be used to minimize risk of data loss by using the most recent backup. Version a file. A version copy can be stored in a separate collection. The copy may have the version number or a timestamp embedded in the file name. Copy a file to a federation. This provides the highest level of risk mitigation since the federated data repository may be using different technology and a different set of administrative procedures. However, this may change the location, path name, and ownership of the file. There are multiple ways to name a file version. The intent is to maintain a link to the original file while tracking multiple possible versions. Questions to answer include: is the version number added at the end of the file name? Is the version number inserted before the extension? Should the version number be kept as a metadata attribute? Should the version number be a timestamp? Should the version number be an integer that is incremented? All of these approaches can be implemented in rules. The rule test version file.r is shown here. The rule creates a copy of files in the source collection by modifying the file name and adding a version timestamp. There are two input parameters, *source_call, which is a relative path name for the source collection, and *dest_call, which is a relative path name for the destination collection. The file creates a query to find all of the files in the source collection and retrieves the system time. A loop is made over all of the files. For each file, a test is made to see if there is a file extension. The timestamp is inserted into the name before the extension. The file is then copied to the destination collection. The rule test version num.r versions a file by adding a version number to the file name. The rule is shown here. The rule has two input parameters, *source_call, which is the source collection, and *dest_call, which is the destination collection. The rule creates a query to find all of the files in the source collection. For each file, a query is constructed to see if a version already exists in the destination collection. For each version, the version number is extracted from the name of the file, the maximum version number is found, and a copy of the file is created with a version number incremented by 1. This rule assumes the version number is appended to the file name after a double period, ... This was needed to differentiate versions from file extensions. Take 7 minutes to complete exercise 91. Run the rule to create a version of files in a collection. Is the timestamp rule version more appropriate? Is the incremented version number rule more appropriate? Resources: LifeLive Zone Home RWMore Rules test-version file.r and LifeLive Zone Home RWMore Rules test-version num.r. Please load a paragraph describing your result into the Lifetime Library in the subcollection class INLS 624 by the end of today's class.